Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel here, Your Energy Works. This week I'd like to talk to you about how to heal trauma memory. I believe we've been doing this in the wrong way for the last 50 years. Now please don't get me wrong, there are so many professionals in this field who are excellent at what they do. They are so well trained and skilled that if you have a problem in your life, they're able to help you work through it. I read recently of a psychiatrist who spoke about a client he had who was in a typing pool, and she was in a job that there was no sign of any promotion, and she hadn't got a partner, and her biological clock was ticking between no chance of promotion in the job, and it was very kind of staid, nothing exciting about it, nothing adventurous or worthwhile in the job, and also she hadn't met somebody to start a family. She was in a very bad state of depression over the whole situation, and her psychiatrist thought her different perspectives, new avenues to approach this, different ways of looking at it, and the option of maybe leaving her job, maybe finding a new path, and over time putting all of these tremendous ideas and concepts into place, the person we found out their joy for living. Now, these people excel at what they do. They're fully qualified to train and help people. The problem is when we put this model onto trauma memory. You have to understand, when trauma memory is something in the past, it's not present. The girl who worked in the typing pool, that's tangible. It's real. We can see every part of it in the present moment. She's in that space right now. The psychiatrist working with her can see exactly all the problems, the pitfalls, the worries, the concerns, and they can work on that. But with a trauma memory, all we have is the responses to the trauma memory. Whether it's post-traumatic stress or anxiety or depression, these are the way the client copes to the memory they're carrying. It's not the problem. Their coping skills, post-traumatic stress, anxiety, depression, disassociation, these are all their coping skills, their reaction. With this model, we're treating their reactions, not the problem. But the thing is, we can't treat the problem in the present because it's not part of the present. It's not tangible. Anything from the future, anything from the past, that's spiritual. It's an energy from the past or an energy from the future. In this instance, we're talking about an energy from the past. We can't treat an energy from the past with medication, therapy, hospitalization, institution. It's an energy. We have to treat energy with energy. Also, when we talk about what's going on for that girl in the typing pool today, we can think and change our thoughts about it. But the past event, it's more than one facet. There's mental, emotional, physical, but also spiritual. The physical part of it is this can appear in the person's body psychosomatically. They can feel like they got weight upon their shoulders. There's a weight upon their chests, a pressure upon their chests. They can feel their joints all locking up and they're unable to move forward. They can feel pains in their stomach leading to ulcers and cancers. This is all psychosomatic side of it, which has to be treated also. The thinking and feeling is because it's an energy. We have to treat the energy first. Now if we treat the energy first spiritually, and the client heals, processes and releases that energy, the thoughts and feelings now change completely because they're no longer, that energy is playing on their part today. Another way of imagining this is, you and I are best friends, and I care deeply for you, and I have great empathy for you, great concern for you, and you go and you break your leg. Now, you don't break your leg in an accident, you did something stupid, you were acting out, you were being foolish, and you broke your leg. And because you broke your leg, the pain in that is ferocious for you, but also the anger at yourself, all that feelings you have. Now, here it is. I decide I feel so much for you, I put a cast on my leg, and I go to a psychiatrist with sympathy pains for you about this leg is broken and I did something really terrible. I stupidly went and I broke it and it's caused me from ruining my chance of being a sports player and having time with my family. I can't cycle. And I take on all your pain, all your negative energy. But I can't take on your pain. I can only deal with what's here today. I cannot deal with your pain. You understand this? It's the same with past trauma memory. If I'm here today, and I had my event when I was 12 years of age, I'm 59 years of age. I'm married. I live with my mother lives with us and our two children. We've got two teenagers. We have two dogs. I am not 12 years of age, and I wasn't 59 having that event 40 years ago. I have a memory of the event, but the mistake I'm making is I'm living with the energy of that memory. I'm meant to have the memory. That's the idea. When we have an experience, we always have those memories. But we're not meant to have the energy of the memory. That's not ours to deal with. All I have to deal with today is today. What happened in the past isn't mine to process. It never was mine to process. The mistake is thinking that we have to process something that happened in the past when it's not ours to process. It's belonging to the younger aspect of ourselves. So we have to get, for me, I had to get 12-year-old Richard to take this back off me and to heal it. And I needed to have an energy to give it outside of my environment. When we work with a therapist and we feel better for ourselves, whatever was troubling us is put to one side, and it does press-ups in the shadows. And then later on something triggers it and it comes back. We have to get it outside of this environment completely. And the only way that I know to do that is to give it over to Jesus Christ. So you get your younger aspect of yourself, for me in this case young Richard, 12-year-old Richard, and Jesus Christ, and the process involves having them take the energy back. This is about healing the past and releasing it and letting it go. The only person who can do that is the client. When it comes to a session with a client and a therapist, the client becomes a therapist, the therapist becomes the helper. The client learns how to face it, heal it, process it, and release it. Now they can talk about the past event like as a third person. Yeah, that young version of mine, he had a horrible time. And he had a very bad experience and it really troubled him greatly. But it's not me. It's not number I had this problem. I am here today. I'm only alive for today. There's no guarantee I'm going to be alive tomorrow. And yesterday is gone. I cannot live 40 years ago. I can't even live yesterday again. Yesterday is gone. So we're talking about we have to take this from a different process, a different path. We'd allow the client to heal themselves by releasing this. So thank you for joining me this week. I hope this makes some sense to you. Please do take the time to like, share and subscribe to my channel.